So now we're going to welcome our guest, Tosan, who was one of the students from ThinkCloudly who achieved this path in the field of cybersecurity. And he's gonna let us know about his journey, that how he achieved this goal, what obstacles he faced. So let's listen from Tosan itself. So everyone, please welcome Tosan.
Hi everyone. All right, so my name is Tosan. Right now I'm currently working as a cybersecurity consultant. I started working as a cybersecurity consultant last month, so I just started the position. Uh, the journey to me becoming a cybersecurity consultant, like there was a lot of things I had to do. There was a lot of steps and all of that. Like I'll say there was like a couple of challenges and a lot of things I had to do to get to that stage. And, you know, Team Gladly was like there all the way to help me through that step and guide me through so many different things, like the saying, like helping with the resume and all of that stuff. And they were really helpful in that step. Like getting into the world of IT, if you look at the job market today, it's a really competitive market. There is a lot of people who wants to get an IT job. Everybody wants to get into that career. Mostly if you're looking for 100% remote that you can do the job from anywhere in the country or any location. It's really competitive, but that's not like doesn't mean you can't you can't get the job. All you have to do is like do the right thing, take the right step, and then definitely you're gonna get the job. My own personal advice, one thing I normally tell people, like when I apply for jobs, sometimes you go to a job website, say be Indeed, LinkedIn, or anywhere, and then they post a job, and then you see 1,000 people has already applied for this job already, and then you're like, how am I gonna stand out of 1,000 people that apply for this same one job? Like, how am I gonna be the one who's gonna get the job? But the real fact, out of that 1,000 people, I bet you only 5 of those people or 10 of those people actually meets the requirement for the job. So one of the things Team Clarity is going to help you do is to be among those 5 people that actually meets the requirement for the job. So when you go in there, there's 1,000 people in there, that doesn't matter. But you go in there, you have everything ready, you have your resume well prepared, you have the knowledge. That makes you become among those 5 people out there that stands out in that job position. Some of the challenges I faced during the process mostly was one of them was like self-confidence. Like, there is something called imposter syndrome. So it's like you think like a lot of you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you doesn't really know anything about IT. Some people don't even know what the computer, like how to do anything in the computer. Just like, okay, the computer is there. And then you're asking yourself, like, okay, I don't really know anything about IT and I want to go apply for like a cybersecurity, a developer, a network guy, a project manager, or any other field related in IT. And you're asking yourself, like, how am I going to be able to? Am I going to be able to do the job when I don't really know anything about it? And then you kind of like, okay, I don't want to really spend my time in applying for this job. I'm going to give up because like I think I'm not good enough, especially when you go in there and you see all of these requirements. Somebody's telling you, you need to know this, you need to do this, you need to have experience about these things. And then you're like, okay, I don't really know any of those things, so I'm not going to be able to survive. But that's just a big lie. Like when you take a class with Team Claddy, like they would teach you all of those things. And then by the end of the class session, you will be confident that, okay, all of these things like 3 weeks, 1 month ago, I don't know how to do. You will be able to know how to do them. And when you go in there, you will be sitting with other people who have been doing the thing for 10 years, 5 years, and you will be able to like sit with them and work with them like you have been doing that same thing for 5, 10 years. So one thing I advise people is like, no matter what you see, no matter what you read out there, don't make that discourage you. Like, don't make that discourage you. All you just have to do is believe in yourself, follow all the instruction that, the instructor admin gives to you. You would be able to like achieve those things. So that's like my advice to everybody like in this call today to like believe in themselves, do like the project, the work, or whatsoever task that is being assigned to you. And also, for you to be successful, you also have to like invest time in your own self. Like, if you have an hour class session every day or an hour, 30 minutes, like just don't stay like, okay, that's the only thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna close my books, I'm gonna close my computer, I'm gonna call it a day. Then, the next day I come back from my 1 hour. You need to also invest time in yourself and do your own research. When I was working with ThinkCloudly regarding my resume, applying for job, like initially when they built my resume and they gave it to me, and when I was applying for this jobs position and all of that, when I read the job description and other things, I also do my own research. And when I find like key information and things I did that might help me getting that job position, I come back and I meet with my advisor and I say, hey, what do you think about this thing? Like, maybe we should add this particular thing to my resume because I have read about this thing and it might help. And then they always listen and work with me. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And then we adjust the resume and then we do that. And so you have to also invest time in yourself to also do that research. While they are helping you, you're helping yourself, and that's how you become successful. I don't know if anybody have any question they want to ask me.
Tosan, so how long did it take, to land a job? Um, and and how was the journey? Was it stressful, or you knew it that you will do it? So how was the journey, in terms of like the length, the duration, and second, was it really stressful or was it easy? You took it easy.
So in terms of duration, like I started working on getting a job in cybersecurity in the summer, I'll say early May. So I took like a couple of certification and then, learned a couple of things and the resume. Like for me, it was pretty straightforward. Like I won't 100% say it wasn't stressful. Like I have to like I said, go through a lot of job application and all of that, prepare myself for interview and all of those things. So like I wouldn't say those part was not stressful. That was stressful. Like, if you're gonna sit in an interview with 3 people you don't know before.
Okay. And one more thing, like, w- were you having any experience of cybersecurity before joining this job, or were you really new at your job?
Yeah, so previously before getting into cybersecurity, I was working as an IT support before getting into cybersecurity.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And there's another question that how many interviews you had to go through? Was it like 3 interviews or 10 interviews, 20 interviews before you landed this cybersecurity role?
Had to go through 7
How many? 7?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so right now, as you're working as cybersecurity consultant, so is it difficult to deal with the current job role? Because you might be having some challenges. So is it difficult, or are you getting enough assistance from your peers, or are you getting enough time by the management to deal with the task right now you have been assigned?
Yeah, so right now, um, I am getting assistance from the management. So that's why I say it's like when you get this position, they just don't throw the job at you and then put you in like a serious project. Like they Like right now, I'm working with management, and then they expose you to like their environment, what they use, and stuff like that, to make sure you're comfortable with those things before they make you start doing things yourself. Like that's one, like from my experience, that's one thing I've seen with this company is it's like there is a lot of things out there, so they just don't always assume 100% how their system works. So they always take time to get you well settled in your system before they let you
No,
take on
absolutely.
project by yourself.
Yes, Tosan, I think that's right, because I have even heard that, when you get a task, you get enough time to solve it. And also peers, you can also reach out to your peers to seek help, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is another guy who is asking a question that do you need any kind of a Python or shell scripting or batch scripting at job, or don't you require that?
Well, so in terms of scripting, it depends on what position you're applying for. So that's like something like, like if you take the course within class, they would like expose you to those things based on whatever position you're going for. Then if that is needed, if that's something you want to learn, they are always there to like walk you through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tosan, students can take up the projects and they can work on the projects. And when they work on the project, they will gain that kind of experience. So you're right. So there's another question, Tosan, that, how were you able to keep your spirit during the job search? Because there were many rejections, or, sometimes the process is difficult. So how were you able to keep up your spirit? Is there any answer on for that?
So the way I'm able to keep up my spirit is like, I know what I want. Like I said previously before, like you need to take away that imposter syndrome. Like you have to believe in yourself and say it's like all of those guys out there that is working in this particular position, they are human beings like you also. They are not, understand. They learn this thing, they study this thing, like you also can do it. So like once you believe in yourself that yes, I also can do it, even if these challenges are coming your way, they will keep you going. That's what keeps me going. Like I once went to a job interview and the interviewer asked me a question if I know how to use the ticketing system they are using, which was Zendesk. And then I told the interviewer, I have used all that different ticketing system. And then the interviewer told me, sorry, they're looking for somebody that have used their particular ticketing system. Now that might kill your spirit and says, oh, I can do it, like, but if you think about it, like every interviewer you have, they have their own way, they have their own opinion to things and stuff like that. So what one person says, another person cannot say, like doesn't say it that way. There's also gonna be other job interviewers that's gonna say, oh, if you already know how to work three other ticketing systems, our ticketing system is just exactly almost the same. You can figure out how to do it. So it's like you're gonna get all of those kind of minor things that recruiters, interview managers, they're gonna try to try to discourage you, but you don't want to let that bring you down. You want to keep believing in yourself that yes, I can do it, and then that's how you succeed.
Tosan, there is one last question which I want to take it up because I see many questions in the chat box, but I want to just take up the last question. So, what was that thing which you liked during the course? Was it the projects, tools, or the knowledge, or the instructor? So, what was the best thing you liked about the course attending with the Think Loudly? If you can just put, a light on it, it will really help our students to focus on that as well. You know.
Yeah, one thing I like through the whole process, like the focus and everything, was like, the interaction with the instructor. So it's not like you're just getting something dumped at you and you can't really ask questions or like provide a feedback or something like that. It's like the instructor works with you to make sure you're succeeding. Like I said, like when I was doing my resume, they were like other things I found out on my own end, and I worked with my advisor to like, Iba would do things this way, and they were ready to work with me instead of like, there's your resume, you have your resume by, that's all you get, when you want to change something or something is not working out, there is always somebody there to talk to and they will help you.
Thank you so much, Tosan. I really appreciate that. You answered each and every question very honestly.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.